Welcome to Dr. P.C. Verma Economist YouTube Economics class. In this class, today we are discussing Robert D. Tollison, University of Mississippi, USA. Views on Democracy in Deficit. Democracy in Deficit is a book written by Nobel Prize winner economist James M. Buchanan and Richard Wagner. He has written about democracy of recovery, democracy of defeat, democracy of deficit. And in this discussion, Mr. Robert D. Tollison says, we are discussing the views of Robert D. Tollison, University of Mississippi, USA, on the book Democracy in Deficit, written by Nobel Prize winner economist James A. Buchanan and Richard Wagner. Robert D. Tollison says, democracy in deficit is also closely related to Buchanan's interest in fiscal and monetary rules to guide long-run policy in macroeconomics. Such rules are needed to overcome the short-run political incentives analyzed in this book, Democracy in Deficit, written by Nobel Prize winner economist James M. Buchanan and Richard Wagner. Buchanan's lifelong dedication to the goal of a balanced budget amendment to the United States Constitution and to the to a regime of monetary rules rather than central bank discretion can be seen in this light. The real alternative to fiscal and monetary rules is, after all, not the perfection of economic policy in some economic theorist dream. It is what the rough and tumble of ordinary policy produces. The problem is to find out a feasible solution to the long-run economic stability and growth. Viewed in this way, there is really no conflict between rules and discretion. And thanks in the part of Buchanan's insistence on this point, the world today seemed posed to have more rule-based economic institutions. Democracy in Deficit, book written by Buchanan, is one of the Buchanan's many intellectual efforts towards this end. Now we come to the point that democracy in deficit democracy in deficit book is written by James M. Buchanan and Richard James M. Buchanan, by James M. Buchanan and Richard Wagner, is in fact also closely related to Buchanan's interest in fiscal and monetary, in fiscal and monetary rules to guide long run policy long run policy in macroeconomics, in macroeconomics, rules to guide long run policy in macroeconomics, as said by Robert D. Tollison. Robert D. Tollison of University of BPSC USA in 1998. Tollison further points further says says that such rules are needed are needed to overcome to overcome needed to overcome the the short run political political incentives and incentives analyzed in this book in in Buchanan book, Democracy in Deficit. And and to provide a stable and to provide a, a stable basis, provide a stable basis for long-run economic growth basis, for long-run economic growth. Economic growth. Buchanan's lifelong dedication, lifelong dedication lifelong dedication to the goal, to the goal, to the goal of a balanced budget, goal of a balanced budget, balanced goal of a balanced budget. Amendment to the United States Constitution, to the United States Constitution, and to the regime and to the constitution and to a regime and dedication to a regime of monetary rules rather than central bank discretion to a regime of monetary rules. A regime of monetary rules rather than central bank discretion. Can be seen in this light. Rather than central bank discretion, can be seen in this light. The real alternative, their alternative to fiscal and monetary rules, to the real alternative to the real alternative to fiscal and monetary and fiscal and monetary rules. Is, after all, is, after all, not the perfection, not the not the perfection, not the perfection of economic policy of economic policy in some economic theorist, in some economic theorist, in some economist in some economist theorist, in some economic in some economic theorists dream. It is what? It is what? The rough and tumble of ordinary, tumble of ordinary politics produces. The problem is to find out the problem is to find out a feasible solution, a feasible solution to long-run economic stability, to long-run economic stability, long-run economic stability, long-run economic stability and growth. Growth. Viewed in this way, viewed in this way, there is really there is really no conflict conflict no conflict between rules and discretion and discretion and 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 thanks in part to Buchanan's insistence insistence on this point. Insistence on this point. The world today, the world today world today seems posed to have to have more, posed to have more rule based rule based economic institution, rule based economic institutions, institutions, democracy in democracy in deficit is but one of one of Buchanan many intellectual efforts toward efforts toward this that's all. We come to the conclusion that Democracy in Deficit book written by Buchanan's is one of his many intellectual efforts towards this end. It is quite important to note that Buchanan's lifelong dedication to the goal of a balanced budget, and for that, amendment to the United States Constitution and to the regime of monetary rules rather than central bank discretion can be seen in this light that Buchanan was awarded Nobel Prize in Economics for his efforts in economics, especially public choice, theory of public choice, democracy in deficit, and establishment of the regime of monetary rules. All these are things related to that. He was the real alternative to fiscal and monetary rules is, after all, not the perfection of economic policy in some economic theorist's dream. It is what the rough and tumble of ordinary policies, ordinary politics produces. The problem is to find out a feasible solution to long-run economic stability and growth. Viewed in this way, there is really no conflict between rules and discretion, as pointed out by Robert D. Tollison of University of Mississippi, USA. And he said many thanks to the part of Buchanan's insistence on this point, that there is really no conflict between rules and discretion. And the world today seems to be posed to have more rule-based economic institutions. Democracy in Deficit, that book written by Buchanan, is one of many intellectual efforts. This book is one of them. Thank you for watching this video. Like it, share it, subscribe it. Tell your friends to discuss about the democracy in deficit, and there is the discussion how to compare rules and discretion in the economy. Thank you for watching this video.